Hyundai's Ioniq 5 is getting a bit of a mid-cycle refresh. Now, most of the changes are just small, but they're significant. The biggest, to me anyway, thing that is different is this. This is the XRT, and XRT, when it comes to Hyundai, means one thing: off-road.
First off, let's get those little changes out of the way. All Ioniq 5s are getting a rear windshield wiper. CarPlay is also now wireless. The front and rear fascias get updated, though it's really tough to tell. And they've reconfigured and added buttons on the interior infotainment screen, making most used functions easier. All of those things are awesome.
So this is kind of big news. All models for the Ioniq 5 are going to come out of the factory with the NACS charger. This is the Tesla charger. You will be able to get a CCS adapter for it. It will come with the car free. Now, the only thing that's different about this, you can fast charge CCS a little bit quicker. That goes from 10% to 80% in about 20 minutes. With the Tesla charging, you're looking at about 30 minutes for the same amount of charge. The only good thing is you have more Tesla chargers that you have access to, so your wait times might be a lot less, even though you have to spend a little bit more time. So it could even out.
There are also some new advanced driver safety features that use additional cameras and sensors. Okay, that's the basics. Now let's get into the XRT. As you likely know, the Ioniq 5 comes as either rear-wheel drive with a single motor or all-wheel drive with two.
The XRT comes in the dual motor setup only, and you should be happy to know that range estimates across the entire Ioniq 5 lineup have improved over the previous model year.
That dual motor gets paired with an 84 kilowatt-hour battery, making it good for 259 miles of range, which is great. Of course, you are going to get max range on the rear-wheel drive version. The XRT does get more range than the Performance N. Again, those range estimates look better this model year because of updated battery chemistry.
So we're just here to drive the XRT, which stands for Extreme Rugged Terrain. I don't know that I'd quite go that far, but this is gonna get you a couple of extra things like a little bit of a lift and some all-terrain tires, as well as a couple of other like terrain modes, which should be able to help you out here. Listen, I'm all for anything that is not just an appearance package.
That small extra inch is not going to get you over tons of big stuff, but it improves both approach and departure angles, which, as you likely know, will help you get over some tricky stuff. There is no additional underbody protection like a skid plate. That extra air under there is all you get. It does also come with 235/60R18 Continental all-terrain tires. Those and the ground clearance are the two reasons for that compromised range, by the way.
So these tires are going to give you a little bit of extra grip when it comes to off-road stuff. Not a ton. I mean, they're not like super aggressive, like really beefy tires, but just enough to give you a little bit more traction. I think the wheels are also really cool. I just wish they weren't in black so you could see them better.
So two things here. If I bought this vehicle, I would swap the tires out first thing. Maybe BFGs, who knows. The wheels do also have a slight flaw in that the valve stem sticks out a bit too much. Not something you want on a true off-road vehicle, just in case you brush up against something and rip that off. Not a good look.
The thing that's so nice about driving an electric vehicle off-road is really that instant power that you get, especially if you're getting into deep silt or sand, so you can keep up your momentum, and you can turn off all that regen braking, so there's literally nothing holding you back.
The Ioniq 5 XRT does have 4 levels of regen braking, from 0 to full one-pedal driving.
If you put the regen on 0 as well, you can do a little bit of left foot braking, which can also help you in turns, get a little bit more sideways, and have a lot more fun. So we've got a little bit of a rally course. We'll see how this does. Right now I am in sand mode, and I have traction control off. Honestly, the grip is really great, and getting into a little bit of silty stuff. It handles honestly just fine. Losing the back end a little bit of deeper silt, but it handles just great. You can feel it kind of gripping up a little bit when you need it. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, you guys, you'll be able to have some fun in this thing for sure. suspension on this too is specially tuned for off-road, and I'm actually finding it pretty comfortable. There's not really too much that's kind of really jarring and jostling, but there's still nice control to it, and I think they've kind of hit it so it's just right. I would like the steering to be a little bit heavier, but you can't have everything. Going over a few little rocks, you're still going to have to be kind of careful about wheel placement. These aren't, again, super robust tires, but it's kind of taking care of a little bit of a rutted out road here pretty well. I'm also pretty impressed by this little course that they've set up. I mean, there are some definite obstacles here and things that could potentially damage this car, and sometimes manufacturers don't really let you get out and actually test it on something that's pretty rigorous, and so I'm impressed that Hyundai's letting us do this to this extent in this vehicle. It says a lot about their confidence in what this thing can do.
Not all of the additions that make this an XRT are going to help you out here on the road or on the dirt. Some of the extras are strictly cosmetic. It takes the signature Ioniq pixel pattern and gives it a camo moment on the XRT's front and rear fascia with this camouflage cladding. It's subtle and I don't mind it, especially on the more muted body colors. You will also get black window surround trim and side sills and special embossed badging.
When it comes to the interior, you're not going to get a ton of stuff in here that just screams XRT. You will get this sort of subtle stitching on the H-Tex covered seats, and you have this little panel insert here that has a little bit of that camo. One more special thing, you can get it in two exclusive colors, Ultimate Red and Cosmic Blue Pearl.
The base model on the Ioniq 5 goes up in price, but not by much. Pricing on the Ioniq 5 XRT starts at $56,875, including destination. The top of the line Limited starts at $59,475.
If you're looking to buy an EV, either this one or any other one, click on the link above. Kelley Blue Book can help you find a fair purchase price on one.
If you were looking for something comparable right now, those options might be few and far between. There is the Ford Mustang Mach-E. Maybe the Subaru Solterra could fit the bill, though it doesn't go this far on off-road goodies. But if Rivian does ever come to market with the R3X, then that would probably be a major rival.
You're never going to hear me complain when a car company tries to go a little off-road and a little fun, especially when it's one that puts its money where its mouth is and does a little bit more than just window dressing. No, Hyundai's not created the super ultimate off-road vehicle, but they have turned the Ioniq 5 XRT into something where if you go off-road onto the dirt, you can have probably more than just a little fun. If you're not convinced, check it out for yourself and tell me, what do you think?